Have you ever felt the weight of a presence within you so profound and enduring that it seems to tether you to a higher plane of existence? It is said that some women are blessed, or perhaps tasked, with a spiritual strength so potent that it shapes not only their lives, but also the fabric of the world around them. But what are the signs of this rare spiritual endowment, and how does it manifest in one's life? If you've ever pondered these questions, then stay with me as we weave together a narrative of mystery, resilience, and transcendent power. Imagine, if you will, Sophia, a woman whose life was punctuated by a profound yet enigmatic force. Ever since she was a child, Sophia felt an inexplicable connection with the world. She would sit for hours under the old oak tree in her grandmother's backyard, feeling its ancient wisdom seep into her bones. While other children were frightened by thunderstorms, their rumble seemed a symphony to her, echoing the untamed power she felt within. But with this profound connection came the burden of misunderstanding. As a young girl, Sophia was often labeled as distant or withdrawn. "She's in her own world," they would say, not realizing that her world was merely an extension of theirs, a realm where the ordinary and the extraordinary coexisted, dancing together in the quiet solitude of her mind. Yet, what fueled Sophia's perceived mystery was simply a rare insight into the undercurrents of humanity. She noticed things others overlooked: a fleeting smile hiding sorrow, the weight of unspoken words in a tense room. This sensitivity, woven through every fiber of her being, sometimes felt more like a curse than a gift. Who could comprehend the depth of her empathy, the way the world's pain seeped into her soul? This spiritual strength manifested in signs both subtle and overt, the first of which was an inherent wisdom that belied her years. Sophia often found herself giving comfort and counsel to friends and strangers alike. They would come with burdens that seemed insurmountable, seeking solace in her calm presence. And though she offered no solutions, merely listening with intention and care, they left her presence feeling unburdened, as though the sheer act of sharing had lightened their load. Yet with wisdom came solitude. Few understood her unyielding quest for deeper truths, or accepted her need for introspection. While others sought distraction in noise and chaos, Sophia found solace in silence, a silence that spoke louder to her than any clamor of voices ever could. In a world forever in a rush, she moved with the deliberate grace of one who understood that time was a construct, not a constraint. Her intuition was another mysterious sign. Sophia had an uncanny ability to perceive the undercurrents of life's unfolding story. It was not uncommon for her to sense outcomes before they manifested, an awareness that sometimes frightened even her. When she alerted a friend to careful choices or instinctively reached out to loved ones at moments of crisis, it often drew suspicion. How could she possibly know? This heightened intuition, however, was a double-edged sword. It taught her to trust in the unseen, but also brought with it a burden of responsibility. Could she intervene in the course of fate? Should she? Navigating this line required discernment, a virtue cultivated only through years of experience and reflection. Sophia's insatiable curiosity about life's mysteries led her to explore and immerse herself in different philosophies and spiritual practices. She was not confined by any one belief, but rather found truth in the convergence of many. Stoicism, with its focus on acceptance and self-mastery, romance in existentialism's embrace of the absurd, and solace in the transcendental quiet of mindfulness. To those unaware, such a quest might seem directionless, but to Sophia, it was a journey of gathering fragments of the whole. With spiritual strength comes a unique kind of courage. Sophia faced life's difficulties with a stoic grace that bewildered those around her. She knew adversity not as a foe, but as a teacher. When faced with a personal loss, she allowed herself to mourn, but also to learn from the pain. "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters," she would often remind herself, echoing the lessons of Epictetus. Her ability to embrace change without fear was perhaps the most visible sign of her resilience. Where others saw endings, she perceived new beginnings. This mindset anchored her, turning turbulent seas into passages of discovery. She surrendered not to despair, but to the flow of life, finding strength in the rhythm of nature's own cycles. Another enigmatic sign was her capacity for forgiveness, a virtue she practiced not for others, but for her own tranquility. Learning to release grudges and bitterness freed her spirit, allowing her to move through life unencumbered. Marcus Aurelius once said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Living by this aphorism, Sophia understood that mastery of oneself was the ultimate form of liberation. Despite this internal strength, Sophia's journey was not without moments of doubt and fear. There were nights when the weight of her gift felt crushing, when the surrounding darkness seemed impenetrable. It was in these moments of vulnerability that she turned to the grounding presence of nature, a walk in the woods, the embrace of the wind, or the comforting constancy of the stars. These encounters acted as reminders that the universe was vast, her place within it purposeful, and that to feel deeply was not a flaw, but a testament to her strength. Perhaps most pivotal was Sophia's ability to inspire others. Her light, though not always understood, served as a beacon for those lost in shadow. They saw in her the possibility of a life lived authentically and with courage, a life where one's true self was not only accepted, but celebrated. This impact, though rarely acknowledged by those she influenced, was a testament to the silent power of authentic presence. As our story draws to a close, consider Sophia's journey as a mirror. Do you find reflections of yourself in her signs of strength and solitude? The path of a spiritually strong woman is not easily tread, but it is profoundly rewarding. Anonymity and recognition both harbor their trials and triumphs. What truly matters, as the Stoics would teach, is not the external validation of our peers, but the inner harmony we cultivate with the self. In the end, the signs of rare spiritual strength are woven into the intricate tapestry of one's life. A mosaic of challenges faced, virtues fostered, and a spirit that dances even in the face of adversity. And perhaps the ultimate mystery is not in how Sophia's story reads, but in how it resonates with your own journey. As the echoes of ancient wisdom ripple through the ages, remember this: the power to shape your destiny lies within you, waiting to be awakened, embraced, and celebrated.